Love. How does one define love? And how do we begin to truly love ourselves? Personally, I believe that in order to understand and fully embrace love for all it is, first of all, we need to understand and connect with what love isn't. Because so many of us have grown up in situations in our lives where we have been unappreciated, neglected, or even abused, that we carry these thoughts and experiences into the future and into our present circumstances. And from there is where we begin to define love. From my perspective, love is all-encompassing. Love cannot specifically be defined. The only way we can truly define it is to connect with what it truly means for each and every one of us. And it could be different for you, as it is with me. But in order to truly understand love, first of all, as I've said, you need to truly understand what love isn't. And that goes back to looking at all the conditions and patterns of behaviour that you have been through in childhood, or the traumas you've been through, maybe those experiences of heartache and heartbreak. Because when we go through these experiences, they often shape the way we view life and we view ourselves. You can see yourself as not good enough, not worthy of love. And yet deep down, as we go and connect with who we truly are, we realise that each and every one of us is worthy of the most beautiful of love, if only we allow ourselves to embrace it. Often when we encounter a soulmate on our spiritual journey, they bring beautiful unconditional love towards us, and yet at the same time they can bring up a huge amount of fear and abandonment. And where does that come from? The fear and abandonment obviously comes from our past, and it's about bringing that past into the present. And we need to let go and let love, so that we can allow ourselves to be and experience love for what it is. And as we awaken on our spiritual journey, many people speak about unconditional love, and I'm under the impression nowadays that there is no such thing as unconditional love. I personally believe that love evolves, and we evolve our interpretation of it as we shift and change throughout our lives. Old conditioning will start to dissolve, and the ego starts to become invalid and not really make sense to us in our journey anymore. But as that begins to shift, it shifts in a way that we begin to love, honour and appreciate ourselves. And there we put and place different conditions on love. And let me share my views on that. Because I've found that as I've gone on my spiritual journey, I've defined love in many different ways. And I can't really encapsulate it or define it down to one thing. But what I've come to realise more than anything else, that in order to truly love, honour and appreciate yourself, often it requires you to step away and move away from those people that don't bring you that unconditional love, or can cause you to feel neglected, abused, or even abandoned. And that can be very, very challenging at times, because often it's our environment that shapes our beliefs and our opinions about ourselves. So if you're finding yourself in situations where you have been neglected, you're not being seen for who you are or appreciated for the wholeness and beauty of who you are, you really do have to ask yourself if you are truly loving yourself. I'm also a personal believer that love at the deepest of levels is all about accepting those unloved and unaccepted aspects of ourselves. So often it's not about other people. It's more about ourselves and how we perceive ourselves in each and every moment. For example, you may have many, shadow aspects buried, deep emotions buried within you. And because they are buried so deeply, when you come and face love in all its beauty and glory, you tend to come from that place of shadow, fear, doubt, neglecting of oneself. Do I deserve this? And yet when you begin to allow those aspects of yourself to be seen, that's when you can truly be loved. That's truly when you can be loved. And that is very much why I do shadow work. The shadow work that I do is all about helping you to love those parts of yourself that go unseen, that become neglected. We all go through different experiences from a child, and if you've been neglected and abused, often that hurt and pain will carry into your future. And if it's severe abuse in some way or form, it can go on for the rest of your life if you don't allow yourself to see it and heal it. And I know how challenging that can be at times, having worked with so many different clients with healing those unloved aspects of self. But again, it goes back to those old relationships and breakups at which you've had. If you've had a beautiful and intense relationship when it comes to love and it's broken apart, how can you begin to trust a new and beautifully blossoming relationship in your life when you've experienced so much pain? From my perspective, this is all about rising in love and trusting in ourselves and in the divine, in the universe, going with the flow of what love is in each and every moment. Because, as I said, it can shift and change. But love, in many ways, cannot be defined. It's just that energy we experience in the moment. As you connect with yourself, you connect with others, and even when you connect with the divine beauty and bliss of the universe. When it comes to the lover archetype, which I speak about when I do a lot of work with archetypes, love at the highest of levels is really having love and appreciation for each and everything in your life. Your connectedness with Mother Earth, nature, the divine, God, if you like to connect with him or her in that way. So these are my views and perspective when it comes to love and how you can begin to love yourself and embrace those beautiful soulmates or even a twin flame relationship. But what I'd love to do is hear your perspectives, hear your thoughts on what love means to you as you begin to encapsulate it for yourself. Maybe you want to define it, maybe you don't want to define it at all. Maybe it's just that emotion you experience in those moments, and you can allow yourself to connect with that bliss of what love is at that moment in time. If you would like to support on your journey, spiritual journey, when it comes to your soulmate or twin flame, I've got an incredible course called The Journey of Divine Love on Udemy. You can find more about that course below this video, and people seem to love that course. I've got lots and lots of content within that course. I think over 5 hours worth of content. And I've got some fabulous interviews as well, which you can connect with. What I will say is thank you for tuning in. Thank you for connecting with me on this channel. I do hope you found this content to be valuable. And I look forward to connecting with you in another video very soon. And with that, I will say take care, much love. And I do look forward to connecting with you in another video very soon. Bye for now. Awaken your soul pathway and shift from self to soul. Download our free app on the Google Play Store, where you can disconnect from your mind in order to reconnect with your soul as you awaken to your spiritual journey and connect with your soul from within. Learn from one of our many courses available on Udemy. We have our Archetypes for Life program, where you can connect with your inner world in order to transform your outer world. We also have your Awaken Your Inner Warrior course, where you can learn how to balance your masculine and feminine within. You can even take the journey of divine love to embrace your soulmate or twin flame. Or you can honour and heal your shadow as you shift it from darkness to light. Gain deeper insights from spirit as you connect with your soul and awaken your soul pathway with our Soul Pathway Oracle cards. Visit www.thesoulpathway.com for more information.